what in our country right now, by the government, by the Prime Minister, or the things you see around you, Sadhguru, are indicators to you that this striving towards Ram Rajya is something that is happening? The reason I ask this question is because we live in a constantly churning, vitiated atmosphere where there are polarized opinions as far
No,
as
that is
Kali
only in the
Yuga and Ram Rajya
newsrooms,
is
it's
concerned.
not so in the country. Only in the newsrooms it's vitiated. If you live in the country, in the rest of the country apart from Delhi, everywhere, everything is fine. Uh, don't believe that. I mean, you're supposed to make us believe that, you should not believe that. So, so the thing is vitiated, where is it vitiated? See, one loose can shout something, well, it's repeated 125 times in a day on the news channel. None of us heard that nonsense. That whatever some mad nonsense repeated over and over again on the news channel is not heard by anybody else in the country, and nobody else is saying such things. So, country is not vitiated, it's a very wrong notion. Please walk around the villages of this nation, which is where we live and we work. There is no any kind of vitiated divisions in the country.
No, I was talking about the political sphere. I take your point about the media, but I was talking about
No,
the realities
I'm not
of…
trying to blame the media. It's media's business to highlight that. I'm not saying you shouldn't be doing it. I'm just saying, don't believe it because you're taking out certain things which make news, and that is not the nature of the nation. So, in the nation, right now there is a huge striving for economic well-being. Is there a striving? Absolutely, absolutely, everywhere. There's a new hope in the villages, everybody's thinking they will live better. They're already living better, you can say, maybe not exactly, but there is a hope because they are better connected, they're striving for more, and I think a whole lot of people, because we have schools in rural areas, we see children are eating better, it's visible. It's very visible. Whichever part of the world I go, the first thing I look at is the rural children. If you look at them, you know what is the condition of the society. Our children's condition has been terrible in the last 50 years. But today you will see in the last 3 to 4 years' time, young kids who come to school at 5 or 6 years of age, they are little better fed, which is an indicator, which is clearly visible. So are they striving? Yes, they are striving. Will we get there? I think we will, unless we goof it up in some big way. The way the trajectory is, I think in the next 5 years, there will be a significant change. Do you believe that everything will be perfect? No, that would be foolish to even think like that. But will people be living better economically? Yes. It is just that we have to manage the other aspects of life equally well. One important thing that's a concern for me is, right now on an average, the soil organic content, this is something maybe a strange language for all of you because you live in Delhi, because you don't use soil. You all came from Mars maybe, I don't know. I don't know where you come from, but the soil organic content in the nation, on an average, is 0.6%. The minimum organic content that is necessary to call soil as soil is 3%, but we're 0.6%. This is a disaster unfolding. You come from the south, next time you fly from Delhi to Bangalore or somewhere, every 5 minutes just look out and see, you see a brown desert which you call as India. This is dangerous. This is very dangerous, that any time things can just fold up on us. It doesn't matter how much industry we do, whatever other economic stuff we do, if the soil collapses, life will collapse in a very bad way. Some of the responsible scientists in the world are estimating between 2045 and 2055, 20% of the world's population could commit suicide, mainly because of soil nutrient deficiency. These are responsible scientists, these are not, rabble-rousers.
That's… your work on soil conservation and Save the Soil is something that we've tracked very, very closely. It's one of the things that's made you a climate leader as well across the world. We've seen your videos as well. Sadhguru, from soil, I want to sort of drag it back to a media issue, since you've blamed the media for
I didn't blame
vitiating
the
the
media.
atmosphere.
I said,
I'm
I
joking.
described the media.
The media must take its share of the blame. There's no doubt about that. But being a journalist, I must explore some themes that are big headlines in the media and things that you've spoken about. Like I said, Sadhguru's videos have millions of views. 4.5 billion views in 1 year is certainly no small feat. And one of the videos that has perhaps got some of the maximum views since 2019 was actually on the topic of CAA, the Citizenship Amendment Act, which kind of went into the doldrums during the pandemic, Sadhguru. It's back now with the rules being notified. You were seen as a proponent of them at a time when there were large-scale protests. 4 years later, Sadhguru, what do you feel about it? The government has decided to notify it. The reason I ask is because it pertains to things like religion, faith, government. What do you think?
It doesn't pertain to any religion. It is too little compassion coming too late. That's my description of CAA. Too little compassion, coming too late. Because when we left people on the other side of the border post-partition, there was hope that they will be well taken care of. And there was also a promise in the political space that if there are problems, we'll take you back. But over 75 years, they have faced the worst of the worst. And many of them have moved here over 30, 40 years ago, and they're still refugees in this country. Are we not ashamed? Are we not ashamed that people are here, an historical blunder where nations are divided and somebody fell on the wrong side of the line and they tried to correct it, and they came over 30, 35 years ago and still they don't have citizenship, they don't have any rights in our country. We should be ashamed of this. This is not a controversy. This is a matter of shame.